This is the result of a lost bet. Unfortunately for my wife, because we made the deal a long time ago that if this channel ever hit 100,000 subscribers, I could build a shop in my backyard. Now, we achieved that goal a little while back, and I quickly realized how complicated and expensive this dream would be. So here we are figuring this thing out as we go, and where we are standing is 4,000 square feet of my life savings. Over the last few weeks, we've gotten this done. We have our anchor bolts in place and ready to go. And what we have tucked over there in the corner is what's gonna be 20 feet tall by the end of this video. It's gonna be a fun one. It's gonna be an expensive one. Let's go. What you see here, guys, is a culmination of 9 years of a hard-fought career and 7 years of a side hustle. And what you see there is my wife's high school car, which I hate dearly. How amazing is this? It's absolutely perfect. And I cannot thank you guys enough for spending time watching these videos, because without you, stuff like this is not at all possible. So if you haven't yet, scroll down, hit the subscribe button below, join the Ohana. It helps this channel continue to grow, and this guy go to college one day.
Big school.
Big school. It might look a little bit tight at the moment, but the trucks are pulled up pretty far. And as a reminder, there are 2 spots of reinforced slab and concrete, additional rebar, and it's about 8 inches deep right about there, and the same on the other side. Because the idea with this shop is to have a 2-post lift there in the center, to have room to work around it. It's good for a video perspective, but it will also allow me, if I'm working on something there in the center, to pull and park and do things with other vehicles. And the dream is to get a bunch of bin pack equipment, tire changer, tire balancer, the 2-post lift, racks. I'm excited for this. But today's video isn't about any of these 4. It's actually about all of this. A whole lot of red iron. Like $30,000 of it, to be specific. This is a pre-engineered metal building from M2 Steel Systems, and it's completely custom, and it's gonna lay the structure of what is going to be the home of these vehicles. Now, you saw in the last few videos a lot of focus on these anchor bolts. Now, in here are about 24-inch long, massive anchor bolts that's going to bolt down that pre-engineered metal building. Now, there's 4 of these bolts on each corner, in addition to some there in the center. We're gonna have 10-foot eaves, a 612 roof pitch, which is gonna put the peak of this thing at over 20 feet. Now, the main reason we're doing this pre-engineered building is for the clear span on the interior. Because we have massive red iron supporting the entire structure, we get a lot of headroom on the inside, which is a lot better than what you typically see on a normal garage, where you do have those trusses coming across, which limits your height to whatever your eave height is. We're only doing a 10-foot eave height, but because we have the lift in the center of the building, I can lift that lifted truck as high as I want, and I won't even be near the ceiling height. I think. This is my first time. What's up, guys? This is actually perfect timing. I literally just got home from work and I saw a big 18-wheeler pulling in behind me with heavy equipment on it. And it turns out it's for me. So tomorrow morning, the metal building company will be out here first thing. So equipment's being delivered right now. It's gonna be a hot one putting this thing up. And I'm gonna help as much as I can, but I still got work this week. And we have a lot going on in my actual job. Realistically, I gotta pay the bills, so I'll be working inside. All right, guys, who's ready to see what we're gonna be building in today's video? It's not small by any means. M2 Steel Systems, these guys absolutely killed it with this building. I probably did 10 to 15 different revisions of this. I wanted a very particular building, but also all the requirements we're playing with the HOA and the city building codes. They knocked it out of the park. We're gonna walk through really quick the building detail. That way when you see it going up, you can kind of understand what's going on here. So this is the anchor bolt plan. Now this is what we spent hours and hours doing and fine tuning, because these anchor bolts have to be in exactly the right position, because when they manufacture the steel, the columns have to drop right on and everything else bolts up. We did spend a significant amount of time on that a few videos ago, but essentially there are 4 different type of anchor bolt templates. We screwed them in, and when we poured the concrete, the anchor bolts were solidified in that concrete. Next up, kind of a top view down on that building. It is a 40 by 50 shop. However, purlins are 52 feet in length. There's a 2-foot overhang on the front side, because on the underside on that eave, I want to put a bunch of lights kind of illuminating down on the front of the shop. On the back, it's going to be flush. On each side, it's going to be flush. I'll be installing gutters on this side and that side. As you can see there with these columns, you see all the purlins going across. These are actually 2 foot on center. Because we're going to be sheathing the roof in OSB and then asphalt shingling it, these are 2 foot on center to install that OSB, to install that roof shingle. Next up, from a side view, you see 50 feet out to out steel. We have that 2-foot overhang and our main heavy columns there on each end, and then one directly in the center. And there's also a wind column that bolts up just on the inside of this. Rough pitch, it is a 612 pitch. This is such a gorgeous shape of building. Yes, it's gonna be incredibly tall. We did not have to go full 612 on that roof pitch, but I wanted additional height on the inside, but also I wanted it to look really good. I think the shops and sheds with a very shallow roof slope don't look very good. So 612 is what we went with. We have 2 jam columns. I think they're called jams on the front side, sitting 15 feet apart, which is perfect because our door is 14 feet. And that's gonna be the same on the front and the back. And then next we have a little bit closer detail there. On the sides, it is a 10-foot eave height. On the inside, it will be approximately 9 foot, call it 3 inches. 612 all the way up, 2 foot on center purlins, which puts our clearance on the interior at 18 feet, 7 5/8 inch. So just under 19 feet of clearance. We can put an entire basketball hoop in here, which I'm kind of excited about. That is what's going up. It's such a good day. I am way over my head. It's still super early, but that sun's coming out and it's already getting hot. I can feel it. So it's gonna be a warm one today. We got the first 10 foot, that's about 12 foot tall. It's snugged in place. And then now we're grabbing our second red iron. We're gonna toss this guy up. Oh, this is so exciting. I'll be out here all morning. I got work here in about 2 hours. Once that begins, you'll see a lot of time lapse. But until then, this is fun. Alright, so this is where we're supposed to be. This is where we're at right now. I guess I'm not as good as I thought I was. Or the template shifted when we were pouring concrete, which is more likely because I measured this 100 times. So the solution here is to cut away a little bit at this hole and basically allow us to shift this over a little bit. So we're gonna square us up here so we're not fighting it later on. Break out the torch! I'm backing up over here to the street just to see what it's gonna look like, because this is gonna be the first look I've ever had on kind of what a eave height and the pitch on the eave. Oh, oh yeah. That's gonna be huge. That's gonna go zoop, zoop. I have a super steep pitch on my roof and I hate it, to be honest, but with the height of this roof and what's gonna be the height of the shop, that's gonna look really good together. Sorry, Logan. We're gonna outdo your shed by a little bit. All my work on those templates, they were still off. Pretty sure the guys are hitting the templates when they're laying the concrete, because I had them dead on. Man, I'm starting to realize no matter how level you think your slab is, it's never level enough. Because they obviously build the plans off of a perfectly level foundation. When you go and stick build a house, there's a lot of flexibility to be able to kind of work in imperfect locations. When it comes to red iron metal buildings, it's got to be dead on. Soil in Texas is a pain in the butt. That's why we had to overbuild this foundation. We have all 6 posts pretty much up, and now we're gonna be going across, I think. All right, here's the first look at what this is actually going to look like from the street, or my neighbor's point of view. Do I turn around yet? How about now? We're on the sidewalk. Here we go. Oh my. Yes. Abso-freaking-lutely yes. I love it when I impress myself.
Sometimes my genius, it generates gravity.
That's gonna be large. Not looking forward to bricking this thing. 612 roof pitch, 10-foot eaves, 40 feet wide, putting that tip at over 20 feet in height. And it's gonna be a little bit taller even because we still gotta bolt on the purlins. Today's a very good day. This is epic. Look at how huge this thing is. It's gonna be hard to come across on camera, like how big this thing is. That's epic! Like a basketball hoop height would be about here. And yeah. I can put a full-on basketball hoop inside my shop and have an indoor court. Not that I ever played basketball in my life. We've also got our wind columns bolted in place and all set. So basically this component here, when we do get the storms blowing in, this wind column is going to help transfer that load down to the concrete. So this thing is gonna be super stout. 2 foot on center is gonna be the purlins all the way to the top. We'll slap OSB on the top when the time comes. As you can probably see in all the clips, I have a bunch of tarp there on my actual roof. We had a storm come through here in North Texas, which absolutely sucked. Actually destroyed my kid's playset, as you'll see in a future video. It also destroyed my roof. So we are getting a new roof. Also sucks because it takes a massive chunk of my budget from this project to throw into a deductible. It's gonna be like 10 grand out of pocket to get my roof replaced, which I don't even want to talk about anymore beyond that. But since we are going to be replacing that roof, new shingles, it might be a great opportunity to also have a second order on that truck when it's delivered for this guy. I'm stoked. M2, thank you guys. Thank you. This is a hybrid of a building. It's 101 degrees now, and at the pace these guys are working, they're probably gonna be done by tomorrow. Look at this. Look at it. Heat index of 115. It's warm today, and these guys ran out of ice, so we're gonna grab whatever ice I had. It's stupid hot today. Very hot. Hopefully that helps a little bit. Guys, one day, one building. That is impressive. I have to back up to even get this thing in frame. 10-foot eave, 612 roof pitch, 40 feet in width, 50 feet in length. This is going to be the sickest place in the entire world. It's about 95% done. Like, these guys absolutely killed it today in this 100+ degree heat. I don't know how they did it. Well, I kind of do. Actually, I was very jealous all day as I'm sitting in meetings, not being out here and being able to work on this. So one of these days I'm gonna do this thing myself. Well, I shouldn't say that because this is the last thing I'm paying someone else to do. That means from this point, it's all on me. Might be a little bit over my head, just a little bit. Well, that's gonna do it for tonight, guys. We're gonna check if they left the keys in the equipment and maybe take it for a spin or two. And see you guys in the morning. This is crazy to me. Absolutely crazy that all of this started with this truck. I bought this truck fresh out of college, $10,000 in cash on an island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean in Waianae, Hawaii. Technically, the truck is from Makaha, but we met up in Waianae and I gave him $10,000 in cash for this used Silverado. It has come quite a long way since the day we bought it, just like this has come quite a long way. And after 6 years of a side hustle, we've now escalated to the point of me slapping a 20-foot building in my backyard to continue to expound on what I enjoy doing. And that is working with my own two hands and creating things. Whether it's buildings, whether it's truck, whether it's mods. I absolutely love this. And I can't thank you guys enough for spending time watching these videos, because without you, this stuff doesn't happen. If you have not subscribed yet and you're enjoying this content, please scroll down, hit the subscribe button below, because this building still has a long way to go and we're gonna take you along for every step of the way. And I'm coming to the realization now that this was the last thing I paid anyone else to do for me. So from here on out, it's up to me.